So welcome to this episode of Customer Experience Topic Dedicated Talks. I am Sandra, your host today, and one of the founders of Customer Experience Association here in Lithuania. And I'm so glad to have Laura Šinka with me today. Welcome, Laura.
Hi.
Laura comes from Latvia, and she has a very interesting experience in driving customer experience enhancement initiatives in the insurance and airlines businesses. So, Laura, to start with, could you tell a little bit about your professional background and how you came to this role of customer experience management?
Yeah. Hi, Sandra. I'm very excited to be here today and talk to you about what I have gone through in this customer experience world. I would like to start with my academic background because it gives idea of why I'm doing also customer experience. I have a bachelor degree in business management specializing in tourism. So it is hospitality already. And then I decided that I will go for master's in social anthropology. So that is a science that tries to understand why we as a society do things that we do, why we behave the way we do. And so this academic background goes very well hand in hand with customer experience. And looking at my professional background, I would say that I have worked with customers or customer related topics since, I don't know, high school, since my very first jobs and internships. And I think many of us do, but later on, many of us do work with customers at some point in their careers, but somehow in what I do, I have very much focused on customers, on front side of it, like how it looks for customers, how they feel, and also backside. So what is the processes behind it, how we make it happen. So yeah, and I have worked for more than 8 years in airline loyalty. Thus, I had a chance to work with 2.5 million customers because it was pan-Baltic and also tried to conquer Finland. There's a very nice experience there. I had a team of specialists who were looking after both this front side of customer experience and also operations. And now, since 2019, I have joined the biggest insurer in Latvia, and I work as their first customer experience manager. And I joined along the new strategy that they introduced that year. So and customer was one of the 5 strategic pillars there in this new strategy, and therefore I joined the company to help to be a customer advocate there. So yeah, that's very briefly.
Very fascinating journey you had throughout your career. And in one of our previous conversations, you mentioned that your company, Balta, you work for now, very recently was awarded with the International Customer Experience Award. So congratulations.
Thank you.
So could you tell how you differentiate through the customer experience, where you excel as a company in the customer experience? So if you would ask your customers to tell what they appreciate in the experience you deliver to them, so what do you think they will tell us?
Yeah, this International Customer Experience Awards was something that we took courage and participated. We were the first company from Latvia to participate there. It's a global, international, and therefore getting 3 awards, 1 gold and 2 bronze was we were over the moon. And gold was for employee experience in the crisis. So it's more for internal communications and HR excellence. But the other 2 were for CX Team of the Year. I can tell about it also a bit later. And also customer insights and feedback. So how do we manage that, and what do we do with that? And I think one of the main things here is the passion that we're doing that, and also that's more related to the awards. But main thing in our daily operations is that we not only collect customer feedback, that we do not say that, oh, thank you for your feedback, it's important to us, and then put it in the shelf and do nothing with it. But we actually really look through that. I think that many companies, unfortunately, do only the first step. They collect feedback, they see some scores, and that's it. But I think customer comments, getting customer at the table, not only assuming what they want, but getting them in-house, meaning that creating a focus groups, talking with customers, making customer interviews. So doing this voice of the customer, or more sophisticated research that sometimes doesn't require that much resources, and can be done by employees as well. So that is the thing that differentiates us. And I think that throughout this journey, also our colleagues and everyone involved in the company saw how much we can gain from really listening to the customers, what they have to say. Because, of course, this company where I work for now, it's been in the market for 30 years. They have every one of the employees that's selling insurance, they work with customers. So it's not customers, not a new thing. The new thing is that we look at it from a different perspective, perhaps, that we focus on what customers have to say rather than we assume what they want, look at the sales and so on. But no, we should listen to them more and actually do something about it. And I think that's the important part.
And can we move a little bit to the practical examples? Yes. So what is the set of practices that you do when you enter into such role as customer experience management? So how you involve leadership, how you involve other teams, so how you make them willing to feel accountable for those enhancements in the customer experience. So what's your practice? What's your tactics here?
When I joined this company, I was in quite good position in terms of alignment with the management team, because, as I said, it was a new strategy, and customer was or has become one of the 5 strategic pillars, so quite prominent role for the customer. But that's something that they had already figured out, that customer has to be put in a separate and more focused position. And that is also something that I want to mention, that management buy-in or the stakeholder buy-in is very important, because otherwise nothing will happen. And there, in working with customer experience, you need a lot of people from from throughout the company, from all departments, starting from legal, HR, IT, so sales, marketing, of course. And therefore the management buy-in is crucial. But also the thing that customer was part of the strategy showed everyone in the company that it is an important topic. And otherwise as well, it might not be that easy. But if we look at the companies where customer is not part of the strategy, where probably there's no like written strategy, smaller companies, I think that we know and we feel that somehow customer is related to our business, right? And the customer plays a certain role there, and but then we sometimes forget that we need to listen to them. And then I come back to this listening to the customer needs and what they have to say. And I think that when you get everyone involved in dealing with customer related issues or sourcing these issues, that leads away to their engagement in this. For example, we created 2 groups of work groups. One was customer committee. That was the management team that I talked with them and discussed what are the strategic directions that we would be working related to customer experience and what they think is important. But we also had CX team or customer experience team that was that is full of representatives from all departments. So it is 12 or 11 individuals that are customer advocates in their departments. They do their daily job, but they also bring to the table what's important from their perspective. So lawyers think in their teams what customer-related topics they think are important to bring up, or some issues, or some anything. Sales in regions, in branches, they think of what are the hot topics related to customers that they would like to bring to the table, and then we look together through them and we get to know what others are struggling with, and we also can prioritize what is the most important thing that we need to work on. So getting all the company together by these representatives was also very, very important to get this engagement and to get this team has really, they're really hands-on with customer, and I guess that also worked very well. It was a bit long, but
yeah, and I remember one of the activities that you mentioned me doing in your company is involving middle management and senior management in the very direct customer listening, like putting them into the phone calls with the customers, putting them into some focus groups. So I think it's amazing, actually. And so could you tell a little bit more? So how you engaged them into this activity and what impact it gave to the customer experience and overall?
Yeah, it was a new thing in a company, but it worked very well. So we looked at customer journeys for two insurance products that are most popular ones. One was private property, and the other was car insurance. That's not mandatory. And we looked together with the CX team, this team of representatives. We went through building very nice and visual view of how customer journey looks like. We in each of these projects, we also invited to this property product manager, the one who is responsible for this product, and also like transport. We got them involved in this project, and from the very beginning. So they were also we didn't do anything behind their backs with their product, sort of to say, but they were very involved, and they were also very keen to understand what is not working for customers, what they don't get. Like we tend to work in our with our daily job. We think that it is all very clear and understandable for everyone, but especially in insurance, there are a lot of terms and exceptions and so on that customers usually don't get it, and we tend to forget that. And so we got these managers involved in building this customer journey, understanding how it looks like at the moment, and then we validated it, and we of course validated it with customers. And they joined for focus groups, so with the real customers in our office. It was before pandemic, so the real customers in our office talking about their experiences. And also, they were also participating in customer interviews that we did in-house. So each one of these customer experience team had to call some customers and ask about their experience with the particular product. And it gave a very, very surprising to me effect, because like long-lasting effect, that these managers referred to this experience, to what customers said later on in the decisions, also talking with their managers, with management board. That, oh, but customers don't get this one, this part, or we need to change this or that because they said so. And I remember that it was very powerful. So in case anyone wants to do focus groups, don't do that only by researchers, don't do it in your silo. Definitely involve somebody responsible for these processes that customers will be talking about, because it's very powerful, at least in our experience.
It's a very good tip. I truly support it. So can we address a little bit the measurement topic? The X measurement. So I believe this is one of the topics that our audience is the most interested in. So how do you measure customer experience success? How you know that you deliver consistent, reliable, quick, smooth experience?
Yeah, I think that the only ones who can tell if customer experience is good are your customers. And as you might understand by now, I'm very huge fan of measuring customer experience and listening to customers, and really listening to customers. If you don't measure it, you don't know it. So it's as simple as that. But the question is how you measure it. And one of the classics, I would say, at the moment is NPS, or Net Promoter Score. A lot of companies do that. A lot of companies only measure the score and don't listen to the comments, don't do this closed loop process. And then they don't know really why their score is going up or going down. In my experience in this company, we also measured NPS and for many years, and it worked well. The scores were okay, but we still during these 3 years we managed to improve the scores, and it was mainly because we started looking through the comments more. And the NPS is one part, and the NPS is it's a good overall temperature of how customers are feeling, but it's not the only thing that you can measure. And when we looked at our customer journey, we saw that with NPS we get only, and it was transactional NPS, so it's after event you get you buy a purchase, you buy a policy, you get a survey, you have a claim, you get a survey. So it's very fragmented, and it gives only idea of these two touch points. What is the customer experience there? So we saw that it doesn't give you a full picture, and we introduced two more measurements, and one of them is customer effort score. That is something that you can put online, and we figured out that it is already in our surveying app. It's included already there, but we just had to embed it on our website, and it was very fast and easy step that we did. So customers, after they have made a purchase, they got a survey right away as a pop-up window, that how easy it was to make a purchase, and as simple as that. And I thought that people will just buy a policy and they will close the window, tab. But they didn't. And a lot of people really answered and gave a score. And not only they gave a score, but they also added a comment on what could be improved, how we can make this purchase easier and faster. And there were very many valuable comments, very practical ones. So what we did afterwards, and we continue to do that, is to list all those comments in topics. So there's something about adding a card, or adding attachments, or different kind of more like user experience related topics that customers really give us a hint on what we have to do. And then this list goes to the IT team, and they prioritize it, and they can, sometimes it's very nice quick wins that you can just easily change the color of button and everybody gets it. And that means that you don't need an external auditor that goes through your UX. You can do it starting with what are the customer pain points there. So what is that they suggest you to change, and start with that. So yeah, that's one of the things. The other ones were related to CSAT measurements. So asking customers how satisfied you are with the service that you got. It's either online after a chat that you can, usually those programs that if you have a chat on your website, after the conversation, you can rate the conversation. And it's very nice. You can see which agent or which person, which conversation was rated higher or lower, and you can understand why and make improvements. And yeah, that is very important, that you not only look at the score, but also do something about it.
So do you remember the response rates? So you mentioned you was overwhelmed by the reaction. So if you remember, so it's
no, I think I cannot give you the exact number, but it was quite surprisingly high. Yeah, and I'm sorry.
It was enough to drive decisions and to understand the situation.
Definitely, yeah.
So, and for the end of our conversations, I have one more question. So I know that you are a member of Women in CX organization. And when we talk about women in CX, we probably talk about women in leadership as in this role as CX management. We work closely with the leadership. And what we see from some tendencies happening in the North American market, so it's quite a normal step from this role to be promoted to the C-level positions. As in this role, working as CX manager, you really build a kind of comprehensive understanding of all the business, and you learn how to lead complex cross-functional projects, initiatives. So what's your personal mission in this Women in CX movement, and in general, what challenges are you tackling in this association? Let's see.
Yeah, it's I would call it community. It's a web-based community, but we do meet in person from time to time. Now that it's allowed, that it's much easier. It's a global community, and so there are ladies from USA, from Australia, from UK, all over Europe, and also from a lot of countries from Africa. So it's a wonderful way how you can see what's happening with customer experience throughout the world, and see that there are some struggles that are common everywhere and some struggles that are quite unique for different markets. What we do in this community is that it actually brings together all the women that are, not all the women, but women that are working as customer experience professionals in different fields, and also as entrepreneurs, and those that are working with the corporate corporations, and those that are working with the smaller teams, and etc. And we learn from each other's experiences. We try to tackle those challenges that we face everywhere. And surprisingly or not surprisingly, those challenges that we see that we as women face is sometimes stakeholder management, and some difficulties being more brave and sharing our ideas and represent and advocate our ideas as our own ideas, or fighting imposter syndrome. That's so some like more practical things, but also I think by being in this community, it has, as we can see now, I'm there since last April, so the last year, it has helped gain this courage to do things and to work with the companies or work with the management boards in a better way, more efficient way, so that we we get what we want to achieve, and that really helps to move forward in our careers. And a lot of women has achievements in their careers throughout this year. And I think maybe in an ideal world we will shrink this pay gap someday. Hopefully. So there are a lot of things that we can just support each other and share our experience, professional or personal, related to our daily jobs, that can help others to achieve their best potential in customer experience. And also there are some external speakers that share, not only women, also men, that share best practices, and yeah, there's a lot of things to learn. And when you are open to learn things and work together, then great things happen.